Everybody listening to Three Nerds on a Sunday. We're back. We got Sonny.
Yep.
And we got Frank.
I prefer Frankie.
Okay. Now we're going to stop this.
I know.
So Frank is sounding a little weird because we're probably on day 28 on this quarantine that everyone's going through. Mm-hmm. Sonny looks like he could fight everybody for some Clorox wipes. Frank is looking like he needs some haircut.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, so yeah, it's been fun. How about we start this with some news, guys?
Yeah.
Sonny, you got something for us?
Yes, I do. So I believe we were playing COD like 2-3 weeks ago, and Manny brought up that there was rumors that Sam Raimi was going to possibly direct the new Doctor Strange film. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read this article real quick. That pretty much Sam Raimi just offhandedly going, "Yep, I'm going to do it." So it reads, "I loved Doctor Strange as a kid, but he was always after Spider-Man and Batman for me. He was probably at number 5 for me of great comic book characters. He was so original, but when he had that moment in Spider-Man 2, I had no idea that we would ever be making a Doctor Strange movie. So it was really funny for me. It was funny to me that conceptually that line was in the movie. I gotta say, I wish we had the foresight to know that I was going to be involved in this project." That's and these are his own words. These aren't taken from someone else or anything like that. It was during an interview for, I think, his new series on Quibi or QB or whatever it's called.
That's right.
It's Quibi or something.
It's the 5-minute movie app or series app, something like that, right?
Yeah. So I am now. This is probably one of my most anticipated movies in general, not just for Marvel, but in general. Sam Raimi is one of my favorite directors of all time, and definitely the reason why I've always wanted to make a movie and be a director as a kid, especially after seeing the Evil Dead. So
I mean, he's like the most average guy you can get with no money at all.
He was good on Chef.
It's very.
He seems so laid back and chill on Chef.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, this was pretty cool too, because I read the article too. Is that it came out of nowhere? They were asking a question, and all of a sudden, bam! I was like, did you just confirm it? And it's cool that he brings up the whole Spider-Man 2 thing, because he talks about Dr. Octopus and then Doctor Strange, and we were like, when we were younger on that, and then it's kind of cool, especially because he's known for Evil Dead and stuff like that, and this is supposed to be more of a horror movie. I think that's going to be pretty cool too. It is one of my. I'm actually sitting here watching Far From Home because we were just waiting for this to get started, and just the music alone, I'm missing these Marvel movies, man.
Yeah.
I could watch every single one. I don't think I'll get tired of them. As long as they're good, I won't get tired of them.
That's fair.
Well, this one, definitely anticipated, and he's going to bring something interesting, especially if there's horror, like you're saying. He's going to bring his trademark stuff to it, so I think we'll dig it.
This is going to tie into WandaVision too. I can't wait for those movies or those shows either. That's going to be awesome. Anything else on that?
So much speculation.
Nothing else on that. It's just now, besides Thor 4, this is definitely probably for me one of the most anticipated Marvel things coming out. To go off of what you guys are saying again, if they allow him to be himself and he kind of brings that practical effects and the camera angles and the way he likes to shoot, this thing could be really great. So
I think we could trust Marvel with letting Sam Raimi run things. Sonny, what do you got? Or Sonny, I'm sorry, Frank, what do you got?
All right, that's what I thought. There is a piece of news I want to share, and we don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but there is rumors that Nintendo is planning something big for Mario's 35th anniversary, and that is this year, I believe in June. But since there's no E3, they might just do a Nintendo Direct, which is their online streaming channel where they give you news and games that are coming out. And they're saying that they're going to release at least 3 games for the anniversary. it might not happen right away, but at least they will announce it for the Switch. And the ones that are rumored right now is Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, and Sunshine.
I'm actually excited for Sunshine.
Yeah, I never played it. I remember you brought it up like randomly throughout the time I've known you. So you must have liked that one back when you played it.
I grew up. That was like 64 I grew up with too, but Mario Sunshine was the one that I saw the advertisements for, and I remember it came on like the summertime and all that. It was cool. It was challenging when it was out.
I just hope they don't go. They want $60 a pop like that. I think it's just too much, in my opinion. But they do have the power to do so because they know people will pay it.
Yeah. I don't think I will. I don't think I'll pick those up.
Not that much, no. 64 maybe to get Ellie into it.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, I guess I played 64 on like
for sure.
That would be like 3 different systems now. I played Mario 64. 64 on DS, and then it would be on Switch.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I got something. I actually got 2 pieces of news. I'm the newsman today.
Right.
One piece of news came out on the 16th, which, what was it, yesterday? And it was talking about PS5. Oh, I finished God of War. Before I get into this, I finished God of War. I will be getting a PS5 now. That is the number one system that I'm probably looking at. But anyway, we'll go into that later. But yeah, Bit is saying that it's going to be limited in the first year because of everything that's going on and also the price. And when I saw price, I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah,
so it's rumored that it's going to be about $500 to $550. And because of that, they are going to have lower product at launch. So I don't know for you guys, but for me, when a new piece of technology comes out and I kind of want it, if it's harder to get, I want it even more.
Yeah.
It does. I'm looking everywhere. I'll wait outside. That's the whole thing. The whole night. But
it's gonna be out of my range for $550. I just wait till my PS4 dies, honestly.
Well, if you trade it in, you trade in your PS4.
I've been doing that every console generation. I always regret it because I always want to go back and play something that was really good. And then plus I could put my PS4 in another room and keep it. So I don't think I would trade it.
Well,
I used to always trade my consoles. Like every single time I would trade the console, and I don't know. I don't really need to at this point. I could just buy it if I want it.
What about you, Sonny? What do you think about the $500 to $550 price tag?
I'm out at that price. I mean, to be honest, I never really bought a console like day one because usually the launch games are not that great. They don't have too many options. So it's nice that they have the brand new system, but I usually wait until there's a couple good games that come out so I can like stockpile like 2-3 games.
So if you could get Call of Duty at launch and I don't know, let's say there's a good RPG, would you get it?
No. Again, once this quarantine is over, I'm not gonna have enough time to play any multiplayer games like I have now. So it would have to be like an RPG, an open world, some kind of fighting game, just to get me interested in actually buying it. Because
when did you get your PS4? Like 2-3 years into it, I think.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years into it. Because at that point I was still playing my 360 a lot, and I mean, and even when I bought my PlayStation 4, I pretty much was just playing that more than my PS4. Now now it's flopped, but I mean, I'm trying to think of the last time I actually bought a console day one. It's probably the Game Boy, way back in the day.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. I mean, this one, I actually have been buying them at first day one, but I think I'm gonna wait this time.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man, because that's just a rumor. Like 500, like I don't know if they could do that price. Like, we'll see what Xbox comes out with. But I mean, last year the console was 400. Like, why is this one 500? Because of what is it called? DualSense Shock or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're putting a lot of horsepower into it, and they're trying to innovate.
So then, how is the Xbox X or what it's called, the Xbox Series X or whatever? Like, how much is that going to be then? 600, because that's a lot more powerful than this PS5.
I don't know. They're waiting, honestly. They don't want to announce their price. They might try to match it or lowball, maybe.
I would think, too, Sony has a little bit better games than Xbox, too, so they have that to compete with. Okay, next thing I got is it just came out today that I saw. It's Disney is going to be announcing, or they already announced, special $5 pricing on digital movie sales. So Frank and I are pretty big on digital movies. That's mainly our collection now. Sonny still likes the Blu-ray.
I love
them. So when I always give Sonny the Blu-ray. But some cool ones. So it's going to be April 14th to 20th. Like there's certain dates that they'll have movies. So basically, this is going to be going on from April 14th all the way to May 25th. And there's like different categories. Like one of the categories is going to be, I'll name them all. Feel-good movies, Earth Day with Disney Nature, family fun flicks, May the 4th. Game Changers, action movies, and Princess Collection. So this is going to not only be Disney movies, but of course they bought Fox and all that. So they'll have a little bit of everything. Okay. So like feel-good movies, Bohemian Rhapsody is going to be in there. Pretty Woman, Napoleon Dynamite.
I don't know they owned all that.
Yeah, now they basically own everything, and that's why Sonny hates them. Earth Day, so those Earth Day nature flicks. Family Fun, Mrs. Doubtfire is gonna be $5. I don't know if that's been $5 already, but I'll probably get that.
Is the sale like everywhere that like all the digital shops, or is it like on a specific place you gotta buy it?
No, I think it's gonna be all the digital shops. That's normally when I see something for $5, I look on Apple and it's there for $5. Yeah. And then May the 4th is what caught my eye because I haven't bought a lot of the. Well, I bought the newest Star Wars movies on digital, and when Avengers came out, which I don't see any Marvel movies here, but when Avengers came out, Endgame, I wanted to buy all the movies on digital and just watch them throughout the day. I successfully got it. I did a little bit of hustling. I didn't pay more than maybe $10 for a movie, which was pretty cool. But on April 20th, 28th to May 4th, you're going to have all the Star Wars movies. And it even says here the Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga bundle, which is kind of interesting. Now, it also says starting at $4.99. So those maybe are going to be like $10. Yeah. Maybe they'll be $5. If they're $5, I'm going to buy the last 3 that I need, which is the 3 original ones.
Okay.
And then Game Changers, like Rookie of the Year. It's like a lot of the stuff you could probably find on Disney Plus. I thought it's going to be pretty cool that you could get these pretty cheap, especially like the actual Disney movies. They're going to have those on sale. Again, probably like $10, but still going to be cheaper than what you could get them for, too.
But do the sales like rotate, or is it the same sales for that whole period of time?
No, they rotate. Like so, like I said, May the 4th, which is a Star Wars sale, that's going on to the 28th to May 4th.
Oh,
and then the 4th or May 5th to the 11th, there's a new kind of bundle of movies that you could buy.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
You never know. There might be something in there that you might like.
Yeah, even if it's just one, $5, not bad.
So I think that's all the news.
All right, cool. Yep, I think so.
Let's go into our nerd out. I'll start because mines are basically the same thing as last week. Been catching up on Clone Wars. It's getting even better. Frank, you actually brought up that you were rewatching some episodes and you noticed a lot of filler in them.
I was originally for a long time, and then when Disney Plus came out, I caught up all the way to the beginning of season 5, and then this past week I burned through season 5 entirely. And I think that one's really long. It's like 21 episodes. And I did notice there was some good stretches of filler. Like there's like these really, really obscure side characters. And, maybe Obi-Wan will show up for like 2 sentences and then he goes away for like the next 3 episodes. So it's like, there's a couple moments throughout those side stories that are okay. They're not bad or anything, but they're definitely filler, and like it balloons the season from, like a really solid 13 to 20 or 21.
So the cool thing for me, I don't feel any of that filler. Like I'm
your
like
watching order.
Yeah, like the episodes I watch with the filler, like the monster one and the zombie one. I guess you could count those as filler, but they kind of go. The monster one doesn't really go with anything that's going on. That's just like a 2-episode arc. I could see that feels like a filler, but this one I can't even tell you what season I'm on right now because it doesn't follow it like that. But I don't feel it at all, and it's pretty good. And it has some range. I found out the Clone Wars, like I was telling Sonny because he likes all those monster stuff and horror stuff. There is like a kind of monster element, like Godzilla and Kong. Another one of like zombies and like a horror kind of feel to it, which is kind of cool.
Hey, does that viewing order, does that make you skip any episodes, or does it eventually make you watch all of them?
I think it makes me watch all of them. I don't think I skip any of them. I'll find out when I'm done with it, but I don't think it's going to make me skip any of them with it.
Yeah. I think the new episode just came out today. I think episode 9 or something. They're almost done actually right now with the new season, but I'm not caught up yet. I just started season 6.
I'm not caught up at all. And bringing that up, I forgot one piece of news is that Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is coming out on PS4 and the Nintendo Switch on May 12th, and that's going to be like $15. So that's kind of cool.
And they've been releasing the Jedi Knight games as well.
Yeah,
recently.
I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could go back and play it, but I remember it was cool having a lightsaber, and I think one of them you could cut off like a limb or something on a stormtrooper. And then the other thing that I'm nerding out on is God of War. I finally beat it. And oh my God, Sonny, you have no idea what you're missing.
Dude, it is good.
No idea. Holy crap, that was great.
Top 2 game PS4 for me, man. That's so good.
Is it Red Dead in that one?
Yeah, Red Dead's before God of War for me. Just barely, man.
What's third? Red Dead,
third, I don't know, maybe Spider-Man, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm thinking about Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
Last of Us can't fall down that much.
Well, no, that was a PS3 game. I mean, they remastered it for PS4, so I don't know if I count it
for that. Okay, I guess you can. You can. But man, this is so good.
It is so good.
Talk about it anymore because I mean I can because it only was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, when are you gonna play this game?
I don't know. I mean, I do want to play it soon.
Oh God!
If there was ever a game that's for you, this is it. This is good.
I believe you. I just have to like sit down and like have time because like there's certain movies that I want to see, but they're in subtitles and I can't be doing anything. I have to focus on that. So when I'm playing this game, I have to focus on that game. I can't multitask or I'll listen to a podcast while I playing this game. So I need to have like full attention on it.
This game will probably be any movie you want to see.
I think so.
This game will be any movie you want to see because if it took you that long to watch the movie that you want to see right now, this game is 10 times better than that movie. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Guarantee. I think you can find it for like $15 right now. That game, $20 or something.
He has my copy.
Oh, I gave it to you for $5. Oh yeah, that's right. And
he's got no He's got no barrier to entry, man. He wants to multitask.
So you gave me shit for not playing, but this guy played it and didn't play for 2 years, and you never once say, "Man, you should play, you fucker."
Well, because I played it, and
because I was done with it.
5 minutes of it.
I already beat it. My attention wasn't on it, but now it is.
And I picked it up again, and I beat it within like 7 days. So, and that's all. I mean, you don't have to
burn through it, man.
You could run through it for the main thing. You'll get everything.
I think you're gonna want to. That's how good it is that you actually want to do the side stuff. Like I usually don't. I start skipping that stuff after a while, but this time I just couldn't. I kept doing everything.
Like time.
I almost stopped playing the game when. So there's Valkyries that you have to beat just for like extra stuff on the side. Mm-hmm. And this one night, I probably played it for like 2 or 3 hours trying to beat this damn Valkyrie. And I would get it to the sliver of beating it. and all of a sudden it would unleash hell on me, and I would die. And I probably play that for like 2 or 3 hours just trying to beat her. And I almost did not come back to the game because that
Was
just
it
pissed me so bad.
was it the main one or the one of the just
It
regular
was one of the
Valkyries?
it was one of the Valkyries, yeah, because you beat
Yeah,
the
it had the
first
same
one and then
problem.
you got to beat three of them.
It was
And then
really
I
hard.
find out you can't beat them. Like the game doesn't expect you to beat them within the game. It expects you to beat it after you finish the game and you start leveling up your armor even more and stuff like that. So
Oh, really? I didn't
I
know that.
felt a little bit better, but yeah, that's my
Yeah,
nerd out.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, I love that game. Sonny, let us know when you start.
Like start tonight.
Please do.
Next.
It's so good. You'll enjoy it. Sonny, nerd out.
My nerd out. I've been getting back into the mixed martial arts world, the UFC stuff, and I've been watching a lot of videos from a YouTube channel called MMA on Point.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of like top 10 lists and a lot of behind the scenes
Like,
stuff or like stuff you didn't know about certain fights or certain fighters. And yeah, I realized that I'd missed a lot since like early to mid 2000s, where like you had Chuck Liddell, you had
yeah,
T Ortiz,
yeah.
you had Rashad Evans, you had all these great fighters, and I stopped watching for a long time and realized I missed a lot. But yeah, I've gone back and watched some fights. I saw the Conor McGregor versus Cowboy fight. I think it was
Oh
like
yeah,
2 months ago, 3 months ago. That was cool to watch again. So
yeah. It was
yeah,
a good fight.
and on that channel MMA on Point, they have a lot of like stuff from history. So just to like again, when we were younger, we were big into the WWF, and back then,
Yeah.
to me, Ken Shamrock was just a guy, you know. But come to find out, he's like the pillar of like UFC. Like he built
Yeah.
one of the first gyms that focused on mixed martial arts, and he was a big reason why they were able to actually get big buys and big views, he helped kind of build what UFC is now. So it's cool to go back and watch all the old stuff and watch the historic moments and top 10 lists, and
That's cool, man.
it reminds me why I started to watch it back in the days.
Yeah.
Again, just like any sport, there's a lot of normal, boring stuff. But when the stuff is great, it's fantastic to
Oh
just
yeah,
sit
man.
and watch it. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna check out the channel. I use YouTube a lot, so if I just throw it in there and there's a random video that's exciting, that'd be good. I did watch that Cowboy fight as well, and that was good. I used to be into it when it was Ultimate Fighter, when like they had the show, and that's when I
I
was.
think so,
That's my like generation, kind of like you. Like you and me had the same kind of era, and then we dropped off for a while.
Yeah, so pretty interesting. But that's my nerd out for this week.
Cool.
You could have been playing God of War while watching those videos. All I'm saying is just those are old fights too. You know, whatever. Frank, what's yours?
Yeah, I got two. I got a movie and a game. Movie, Ip Man 4. You guys, I believe, have watched all three Ip Men, and you like them, I think.
I have seen all four, and I like them all.
Yeah, so Ip Man 4 is a good wrap-up. There's some emotional stuff towards the end. The story I thought was pretty good in terms of bringing you into the history of what he went through again. So like in Ip Man 1, they definitely went through that a lot with, the war that was happening in his city and everything that he went through. There's more of that here, and then I would say it's better than 3, maybe on par with 2, but not as good as 1. And then there's some interesting Bruce Lee stuff. There's some good fights. The cinematography all looks very beautiful. The music, as usual, is really good. So if you enjoyed the other 3, I'd watch this, but I wouldn't watch it without watching the other ones.
The third one was the weakest, right?
I think so.
Is it still the weakest?
Yeah, it still is. Still is.
I kind of put 3 and 4. So the way I see it is the first one is a instant classic. It's you can't beat it from story and emotion wise and fighting and all the fight scenes. It's top notch.
Fights are amazing.
The part 2 is really good still. It's a good sequel. 3 and 4, they're good. They're not great. But they're good to like if it's like a lazy Sunday and you want to watch an action movie. 3 and 4 fill that spot really well. And if you watch the whole series, it does give you something extra. So
sure, yeah. No, I recommend watching it though. It was worth it, and then I like the ending and everything, so it's good.
There's some good fight scenes in there.
There's some good ones. There's a good Bruce Lee one that I thought was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much, but that was it. And yeah, so anyway, my other thing that I'm doing is the Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4.
I have not played one Final Fantasy game.
I only played Tactics. Me and Sonny used to play Tactics, which is kind of like turn-based strategy.
Yes.
But we never got into any of the Final Fantasy games. I never played 7 originally. I just wasn't my style because it was turn-based and it was just not something that I wanted to play. But this one, I played the demo and I really got into it. The story is really good. If you're into like just anime shows and stuff like that, it kind of has that vibe because the way they talk and the way they express their emotions. But the graphics are really good. Gameplay is really improved. I mean, it's no longer turn-based. It's an action game now. So you can definitely still like pause and strategize. Like you could command your followers to do attacks, and you could plan your next moves and stuff like that. But it's all very action-oriented. And there's a demo out there, so if you want to try it out. But so far, up to Chapter 3, I'm liking it, and it's got extremely high ratings. So far. So if you're just even a little bit interested, maybe watch a trailer, try the demo. But so far I'm liking it. But it's a pretty long game, so I'll let you guys know maybe like in a month how it's going. But so far I'm liking it.
You paid $60 for it?
Yeah, I did.
Digital or physical?
I did digital.
Oh, so this is a keeper.
Yeah, I didn't want to deal with the physical, and I did like the demo a lot, and I heard so much good stuff about it, and
Okay.
I'll let you know how it is.
So, if there's nothing else, I guess we got to go on our topic now.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Manny, what is our topic for this week?
So, we kind of brought it up in the last episode, but just to kind of get in the swing of things, talking about things and talking about compare and contrast everything that we normally talk about in our normal lives. Let's talk about our 2019 movie list because that has probably changed. We've caught up on some movies that we wanted to see, and our list has completely changed probably since what we had it before. Anyone want to go first with their list?
Do you want to do like 10, 9, 8, and everybody just give their number 10 and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think we could go that way.
All right, cool. What's your 10, Sonny?
My 10, it was actually a toss-up. I literally took a coin, flipped, and see which one would be in 10. So my number 10 is Hustlers.
Did your other movie make it?
No, it did not.
On the list? What was the other movie?
Knives Out.
Okay.
Knives Out.
That was in the brink of being top 10, but I'm our number 10. But like I said, I literally took a coin and did head and tails. Hustlers is my number 10 for 2019.
What made it on the list? Because I thought there was a lot of good stuff last year. So what pushed it to at least make it to the top 10? I had trouble cutting stuff actually.
Honestly, it was just it was entertaining and fun to watch, and to me, I do when it comes to certain movies, I value that over a lot of other things sometimes. And this was just it kept my attention. It was shot very well. It looked good. The pacing was pretty well. The reason why it's not higher is because it's a pretty standard movie of this type, the way it's shot and storytelling. But it was just fun to watch, and I can see myself like buying it, and watching it whenever I'm bored. If I have if I'm like, I don't want to watch anything new, so I'll go watch what I have.
Yeah.
So that's
Manny 10.
Well, I was gonna say Hustlers. Yeah, Violet wanted to go see that movie, so she dragged me to it. I'm not a big J-Lo fan, but she told me that it took so little, or I mean, to make that movie was so quick and all that. So it actually came out pretty good while they didn't take long to film it. But yeah, it was good. I think it was really good too. It was on my list before. It is no longer on my list.
I haven't seen
Knives
it yet.
Out. Knives Out did not make my list. That was a huge, like the hype behind that movie when it was coming out and everyone liking it. Yeah, no, I don't like it.
Me neither.
My number 10 is Ready or Not. This is one of the movies. Yeah, it's one of the movies I didn't see in the theater. I thought it was going to be kind of one of those cheesy movies. But it was actually kind of cool. It was fun. It was refreshing. It was kind of what I thought it was going to be, but still in its own way. It was really gory, but it didn't take itself serious, which I really like that in a horror movie.
Totally.
Yeah, so Ready or Not was one of my favorite movies of 2019. Yours, Frank?
Yeah, it was good, man. I like that movie too. 10, Alita Battle Angel. I always thought the art was cool. I always saw it growing up, but I never actually read the manga. But I did like the movie a lot. The effects were really good, and it is a little weird looking at times, but overall, I thought it was a really fun movie, just like you guys going with the fun theme. So I just really enjoyed it. It made my top 10.
Nice.
Violet was watching that in the background. I kind of watched like the end of it, and I thought the animation was pretty cool. I didn't watch the whole thing. Never caught my attention, kind of thing. But it looked cool. It looked cool, and the animation was on point.
For sure.
It's not really animation. I guess you could say the CGI. It's not really a cartoon movie.
Similar. All right, Sonny, number 9.
My number 9, Ready or Not. For me, this movie was fun. To go off of to piggyback off what Manny was saying, it's a fun movie. The gore to me was done really well. The one thing I will say is it didn't take itself. It took itself serious enough where you bought into it without thinking this is stupid, and the characters were like, "Hey, look, we're in a horror movie." It took itself just serious enough where when something stupid happens and then ridiculous, you laugh, but at the same time they're like, "Oh shit, this is weird, but it's fucked up." And every year I usually try to make room on my list pretty low on every list of having like a B type of horror movie or like kind of like a B action movie on there, and this for me is, so that's my number 9.
Awesome, man.
My number 9 is probably, it is, because I made this list, is The Irishman. That 3-hour-long movie, I watched it from beginning to end. I didn't do any cuts or anything like that. It was good, man. Like, when first watching it, I was kind of like, oh, man, I finally got a Scorsese movie that I can love again. And it was fun, man. It was fun of seeing Al Pacino on the screen with De Niro.
Pesci came back after retirement.
Pesci back. The kind of like the aging stuff, you could kind of tell a little too much, which it's fine. It's a movie. If they have the technology, great. But yeah, I like the whole thing where they had their own take on what happened to the Hoff and all that. So so yeah, that's number 9 for me.
Cool. Yeah, I did like that one too, but it didn't make my list, but I did enjoy it. Number 9 for me, Uncut Gems. I did enjoy it. I've appreciated the Safdie brothers, the movies that they've done. Good Time was very good. It really turned me around on Pattinson, and then it turned me on to the directors themselves. The movie itself is extremely good. I mean, you just, even though he's making stupid decisions, it's still stressful, and you still feel like you're in it. So I definitely enjoyed the movie a lot.
That is on my list too, but it's later on.
All right.
I think Sonny said he didn't like it.
Okay, so before I get to 8, I just want to touch on Uncut Gems and the Irishman. The Irishman was originally on my top 10 list, and it was actually bumped off.
Okay.
I did enjoy it. It's way too damn long. I think parts of it was I won't say unnecessary, but it was just too damn long, and that's kind of what Martin Scorsese does, especially as he gets older. Makes these movies really extremely long, like Wolf of Wall Street. I love that movie like with all my heart, but it just drags on at a certain point. Uncut Gems. I think the way you guys felt about Knives Out is the way I felt about Uncut Gems. I heard a lot of good things about it, and I was excited to watch it because I'm like, oh, Adam Sandler actually acting again. And I watched it, and I was annoyed. Like I kept looking at the clock, like shit, there's another hour left. Fuck, there's another 20 minutes left. Shit.
That's weird.
I honestly, I thought it was annoying to me. It was the dialogue is just let's scream and yell as loud as we can about nothing and stupid shit for like an hour and a half. And the character, I hated almost every character in there. There's one thing to have a character that you love to hate and you want to see them either fail or win, but you want to see them go through something. I didn't care about Adam Sandler in this movie. I thought he got what he deserved, everything. I'm like, no, I will say,
I so liked it.
I will say the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah,
I did like the ending, but
yeah,
I think the hype kind of like killed it for me.
Maybe. I want to see what you think. If you see it again, like in 2 years, I want to see what you think at that point.
I can do that. Yeah,
I could see somebody hating it. I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends.
Yeah, I
don't know, man, because it grabbed me, and then it didn't let go. Like all his stupid decisions that he was making in that movie, I couldn't believe it. But that's what kind of got me on the edge because I want to see how he got out of things and stuff like that. Yeah, man,
I mean, the kind of like some of the gambling goes over my head where it's like, what is this guy doing? Like, does he know what he's doing? Like that kind of stuff. So I thought it was interesting because it shows you a world that I'm not familiar with myself. So
sure, that's fair.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 8, buddy.
My number 8, the lead of Battle Angel. Again, won't spend too much time on this since Frank brought it up, and I pretty much agree with everything he says. It's fun. I was really surprised in how much I was actually like engrossed in the actual story and the characters. I thought the action was well done, and I was really surprised by this movie. I'll just say it because I had no expectations for it. I thought it was going to be another terrible movie, but I was really surprised with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's
for me, number 8 to number 1, like it could still change for me. I think it's kind of set for me, but these are where the movies really meant something for me this year. So my number 8 is Spider-Man: Far From Home. Probably for me one of the best Spider-Man movies to come out. Maybe for me the best one, even over Spider-Verse, because Spider-Verse I think it's something else. That's not a Peter Parker story, really. That's a Miles Morales story. But this one, I even have it going on in the background right now. It's one of my favorites because it brought in Mysterio, which he's a classic one, and we're actually now finally starting to see the Rogues gallery of Spider-Man in Marvel Universe, which is awesome. That whole scene with that kind of, I guess you could say that dream scene with Mysterio and Spider-Man that almost kind of reminisced Scarecrow level in Arkham Asylum, which was phenomenal. I still remember in Arkham Asylum, I thought my Xbox froze on me and I had to start over again, and all of a sudden it started on a whole new scene. So that is by far one of my favorites. Top 2 comic book movie. Maybe not top 2. Top 3 comic book movies of the year for me. Okay. But that holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, man, that was my number 8 too, and I just like what they did with the story where they said like Peter just went through so much, and he really just doesn't feel like being Spider-Man right now. He just wants to get his girl and go on with his life, but he's still being dragged into the whole Avengers stuff and all the fallout. So I thought it was interesting. Mysterio was so well done. I mean, I just never thought he would be that good. So, my number 8, man, I really enjoyed the movie.
Good.
7.
So my number 7 is going to be The Highwaymen.
I like this one.
I love history. If anyone knows me, I love looking at history and stuff like that. And one of my favorite eras is like the bootlegging era slash bank heist era.
Yeah.
And this was it was cool because we always see it from the side of Bonnie and Clyde. We never see it from the side of the people who actually had to go out and capture them. And it wasn't romanticized in this film like they felt like shit when they had to actually pull the trigger. It was nice to see this I don't want to say ideology, but it's this idea of getting old but still having to find a way to actually overcome all the things you have to do to get a job done.
Yeah.
And it was cool of seeing how the youth of that time idolize these killers and and bank robbers, and you have these lawmen. They're like, listen, the way I grew up, I could have gone either way, but I decided to choose this side. And it's just weird that they get shit on for doing their job. And
Yeah.
it's uh to me, I thought it was shot very well. Besides the movie being very fun or with good dialogue, I appreciate camera angles, cinematography. Like that stuff catches me, and like when I can see it in a movie and I appreciate it. So this kind of had rang, kind of like it hit all the marks for me to make a really good movie. And I've seen it at least 3 times now.
Man, it's great,
I
man.
will probably watch it a couple more times. So I really do. I would say if you haven't checked it out, or if you forgot about it, it came out last year. Give it another watch.
It's a Netflix original. Manny, did you watch this? I don't remember if you did.
No, it's on my list. I have not seen it.
Check it out if you get a chance. It's a good movie.
Yeah, Harrison's in it. Costner's in it.
Yeah,
I probably will.
Good guys in it.
Number 7 for me is Us. Probably one of my most favorite horror movies of 2019. I was anticipating it. I couldn't wait for the movie to come out, and it didn't disappoint. It was still kind of freaky to watch even till now.
Yeah,
it still holds up, and the whole like it was almost like an onion because it had so many layers that you could still kind of dissect. And what do you think this meant? What do you think that meant? Kind of thing. And even kind of watching the commentary on it too, just so much that he
Who
thought
does the
about
commentary? Is it Peel?
Get into it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I might have to check
you
that
can
out.
find it here and there, but it's so cool. And I almost forgot about. I forgot that came out in 2019. I'm glad I remember because I wanted that.
There was so much in
number 7 for me.
2019.
There is a lot.
The thing I miss is commentaries. I used to fall asleep watching commentary tracks, and I just don't do it anymore. But I used to really enjoy, like on my favorite movies and stuff, or something I wanted to learn more about. I like the commentary.
I watched it for the Joker too, because after like the third time watching that movie, and that was really good too.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna check that out. 7 for me was John Wick 3. I was anticipating this more than probably I should have. Even considering all the good stuff coming out, but I was expecting it to be more of a conclusion than it was, so it really brought the movie down for me. Even though it was really good, it keeps consistent with the other ones. So if you enjoyed John Wick 1 and 2, 3 is just as good, and maybe a lot of the choreography was great. The dog stuff and the Halle Berry stuff, it really surprised me how good they were. I mean, they pretty much were on par with Keanu himself. So it was a great movie. The conclusion of it, I was expecting it to conclude, but it just kind of keep going. So
rank the John Wick movies.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much in the order they came out. Yeah.
I would probably say 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 definitely was really fun, man. I remember we watched it together and we just enjoyed the hell out of that movie. But 1 was such a blindside. That's why it holds it up higher for me.
1 feels so much like a B movie because they use that Marilyn Manson song like 5 times for 3 different scenes.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of holds it off for me. But and plus watching the dog die again, I can't watch that.
Oh.
But number 2 is, I think, probably the best one so far, especially in like that dark scene or the pencil scene, or not the pencil, the walking scene where they're kind of shooting in the. I forgot about that scene right now. Yeah, Calvin was pretty good in that movie.
He was damn good.
Sonny, rank the John Wick movies.
2, 3, and 1.
2, 3, 1.
Whoa, 3?
That's crazy.
3 number
3
2?
was good.
Yeah, it was a little weak.
I mean, when you're coming off of 2, I mean, it comes off weak, but I do think 2 and 3. Well, 2 really learns how to like pace itself and actually stretches itself out, so you don't lose it. Number 1, I love number 1. It was a surprise. It was out of nowhere, but the second half it really starts to just like doesn't even like plateau. It just goes whoop, and then it comes up for a second, and then it goes back down where it starts to slog towards the end. But 2, solid from start to beginning. 3 is a little slow in the middle, but the first part and then the ending of the movie is great.
Yeah,
I showed my father-in-law John Wick, and he liked it. He's kind of old. Nah, he's not really an old school Hispanic, but
I think that's right up their alley. Those type of
men. Yeah, so it's kind of like a cool moment. All right, Sonny, I think we're on 6.
Yes. For me, number 6 is Booksmart. I guess the best way to put it is it's like a female version of Superbad, I guess. I enjoy it. It was fun. It was actually more funny than I thought it was going to be. I mean, there's not much I can say that you haven't heard of one of these movies of these coming of age stories, but it's good. There are certain tropes that they don't lean into, like most do, like, oh, this is the popular girl who's gonna be a whore when she leaves high school, and this is the dumb jock who, so on and so forth. I think it's funny with how they handle certain situations and how like real life stuff for them is played out for laughs, but you kind of see the genuine fear or happiness in their eyes, and they're like, oh, this is now we're leaving high school and we're starting like a whole new part of our chapter, and it's scary and it's weird. I think it was just shot well. The pacing was pretty good. Like I said, I was like, this came out of nowhere for me. I remember seeing a trailer like a week before it came out. Me and my sister went to go see it, and we were both really surprised. So,
was it a normal like wide release, or was it kind of a limited?
I think it was limited for the first week, and then I think it went wide like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I think I heard of it really briefly.
Million.
Yeah,
in the box office.
All right, man. I might have to give it a shot. It sounds like it's pretty
good.
Out.
Yeah,
I think it's on Hulu. I'm checking that right now.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
So I'll watch that. I actually have Highwaymen on my have not seen. Oh, 2. If you guys can think about it while we're talking, think of your top 3 stinkers.
Yeah, I have those written down.
Okay, me too.
Okay.
Okay. My number 6, and this is where it was really getting hard. Avengers Endgame was my number 6. The reason why it's not higher is because I was trying to put my fanboyism down and make this a little more or less bias. But
like judge it based on film instead of fandom.
Yeah, none of these movies made me feel what Avengers Endgame made me feel. Granted, it took 22 movies to get there.
In like 11 years.
In 11 years, it's still like they recently someone brought up or someone showed like fan reaction while the scene was going on of like
Captain
America,
amazing,
Mjolnir, and all that, and that was amazing. Or when he said Avengers Assemble for the first time, I got like
of course,
I got goosebumps.
Oh man, you sounded like Bruce Campbell there. We're trying to say Mjolnir. You're like,
Avengers Endgame is probably the best Avenger movie out there, or not the best Avenger movie, best Marvel movie out there, and it does deserve, even though it kind of had to do a re-release to get the number 1 spot. It deserves the number 1 spot, and I'm actually thinking about, I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to rewatch them all again from that list I had when Endgame came out. It's going to be a year that it already came out, Avengers Endgame, too. It's going to be pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
It's kind of crazy. A year before, man, we were like living life and can't wait for Avengers Endgame, and now we got to stay inside and
it is weird.
Home.
Crazy how fast it changed, but you kind of think about like the whole snap thing. It's like not like we're going through anything near that, but like it makes it feel like what if something crazy like that happened? It makes it feel more real. Like you connect with it more.
Is this your guys' favorite Marvel movie?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, no. It's like the third or fourth, maybe.
When we were out, I can explain why again, but for me,
what's your favorite movie? I know it's Captain America something.
Probably Winter Soldier. No, you know what? I lied. It's Thor 3.
Ragnarok.
That Winter Soldiers 2, and then Civil Wars 3.
How about you, Frank?
It's very similar. Those are to me better, but I really love the conclusion of this. It was so good.
I'm probably gonna say Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers, maybe Far From Home, and then Ragnarok.
There's so many good ones. I mean, it's really hard to rank them.
It is. I mean, like with me being very biased of Cap being one of my favorite Marvel characters in the movie universe, I can easily put all three of his movies on there. But Thor 3 is probably the most fun I had watching a Marvel movie. Fun.
They really brought me out to what's the director's name? I don't want to murder it.
Taika Waititi.
Oh man, I fucking love that guy, and he's so out there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I heard he was I thought when I heard he was gonna make Thor 3, I was over the moon. I'm like, this is either gonna be terrible, it's gonna be fucking amazing. And it was fucking amazing.
Love and Thunder too. I can't wait for that to come out.
Well, that movie made me a fan of him.
Yeah.
All right, are we on 6?
JoJo. Yep, 6.
6, Jojo Rabbit. Talking about JoJo and
JoJo didn't make it on my list, dude.
What? No, I know, man. It was fun, dude. It was hard. Okay. I had to cut stuff that I really enjoyed, like Ready or Not and Us. But there was so much good stuff. But JoJo was unexpected for me. I wasn't excited to watch it, even though I became a fan of Taika after Thor 3. So going into it, us three went together, and I just remember us having a really good time watching it. It was actually really emotional. It was really funny. The kids were excellent, man. I mean, they were like such great actors. So overall, it was just a really good movie, man. It was. I wanted to put it higher, but there was so much good stuff this year, like I said.
Fun fact: when we went to go see JoJo, that's when you guys first told me about Parasite.
Yeah, we started looking at all the stuff that was coming out, talking about Parasite and everything else. 1917 and all that.
That movie is a lot better second watching too.
Which one?
I thought
Parasite?
No, JoJo.
Oh, JoJo.
I thought Scarlett should have won Best Actress on that.
Hands down.
Yeah, 100%. She was damn good.
She was really good.
Range, man.
She made me really care about the character and about the mom and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hilarious, man. That's why I had to buy that movie for sure.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. 5, Sonny?
Number 5, Joker is my number 5.
Joker. Cool.
Yeah, I do remember on my original list, I think it was higher, but looking back on it now, I still really thoroughly enjoy it. But it is number 5 for me. It actually, just again, Endgame is actually not on my list. Joker actually took the spot that Endgame was actually in, and I think my thought process for that was, it took 11 years and a shit ton of movies for Endgame to be as perfect as it was. Where Joker was maybe hyped up for a couple months, maybe 3 months, and then we come into it, and we get something that it feels original, but it feels like we've seen it before, and it feels fresh, but also uh, nostalgic almost, like to a certain point. And the way the fact that they actually treated it like an actual movie first, and the characters of the comics as just characters, not this is a comic movie. It's a movie about a comic book.
But don't take away Endgame that it took 11 years and 20 movies. Like, how many movies have we seen that the third movie completely sucked? Spider-Man 3.
Even the second one.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it took so long to get it, and they actually hit it out of the park.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. They hit it out of the park. But you have to watch. You don't have to necessarily watch everything, but the payoff.
Your investment level.
If you weren't invested in the whole time, you won't get that same impact. Where Joker, it's a standalone. So far, is a standalone movie for me. Again, it was really hard not to like put it like number one because of like the emotions of certain scenes and characters. But when Cap raised, the hammer for the first time, that was a long time building up to get to that moment. It happened.
Yeah.
I was like, I got a tear in my eye.
But they still hit it. Like, it's hard to even hit a movie. It's easier to get lucky.
Sure. No. Again, I agree with you. It is as perfect as a film can be, especially with all the baggage and the opportunity of messing it up really bad. It was damn near perfect. But for me personally, I had to take out the fact that if this was a standalone movie, if I only saw like the Spider-Man movies and maybe the Captain America movies, it wouldn't have the same punch to as it did. You literally have to watch every movie. I think it is.
Not every, but a lot. I mean,
being nerds, we obviously have to watch it all. But I mean, like if you only watched like a handful, like 2-3 movies, the payoff would nowhere be the same as if you invested the time and energy in everything that came out.
But my thing is, you are a comic book reader, and you did watch Endgame, and it hit all the points. How did it not make your top 10 list?
I don't know.
You're not someone who didn't watch a handful of them. You actually watch all of them.
So, I think So, and this is also a cautious choice because I'm weird like that. I haven't seen Endgame since theaters. I haven't watched it at all.
I don't think I've watched the whole thing.
I plan whenever I am able to have kids to actually. The second time I watch it, I want to watch it with them as they see it the first time. But again, like I did enjoy it thoroughly, but I didn't. I thought about certain moments in the film, but I didn't think about the whole movie for like a couple weeks after it came out. Like I thought about Captain America raising the hammer and a couple other scenes, so on and so forth. Yeah. But with my top 5, I thought about these movies for a lot, and in some sense, I'm still thinking about them now. Like I want to watch everything that's on my top 5 list, like right now.
So it was like rewatchability made a big impact on your list.
Yes. With the exception of my number 3 spot, I will watch the number 3 a couple times more. But to me, when I left the theater for my top 5, I thought about them for a couple days, a couple weeks, and even now, like looking at my list now, I'm like, shit, that was a really good movie. I want to sit down and watch it now. Endgame, I love it. It made me feel things like. Again, I think it's on the first series of our podcast. I was not a fan of the first Avengers movie. Part 2, I liked a little bit more, but it was pretty.
You weren't
it wasn't great.
Fan of the first Avengers movie?
Yes. And I think
you were, man. I don't remember you. No. I don't remember you saying no.
Yes, I remember that very well. You're like, you son of a bitch. I'm like, I'm sorry.
The first Avengers movie.
Oh, well, I don't want to,
but
fun, man.
But
what's your problem with the first Avengers movie?
I honestly, I don't want to say bored, but I was like, oh,
what?
Cool. Yeah, like the stuff with like Banner and Stark were awesome. It made me laugh. There were good scenes in it, but like the second time I saw it, I actually fell asleep. No lie. Like the second time I watched it, I'm like, is it over yet? Okay, cool.
That depends on when you watch it and stuff like that. I don't know if it's like the movie putting you to sleep.
It is because again, like I came out of theater like that's good.
Oh man,
what are we doing on this podcast?
So you put Hustlers. Hustlers made it, but Endgame didn't make it. God, I mean, it's like
completely forgot about that. Hustlers made it, but not Endgame.
Yeah,
it's insane,
movie made it. Oh
again,
no!
Again,
man.
Like my top 10 is based off of like, will I watch it again? How many more times? Like, Endgame, I love, but I have to
Marvel movies.
But I have to reserve Endgame for a very specific thing because if I watch it too many times, it's still gonna be fun, but it's gonna lose
For me, like the list is really about enjoyment. Whether I'm gonna watch it 20 times or one time, it's about like the emotion, the enjoyment, the craft. Those three things are what put it in the list.
And again, I agree, but like, because again, I if you ask anybody about their personal top 10, it's different for different reasons. For me, that plays a part. Like me, the biggest factor is the fact that you have to invest a lot of time to watch Endgame, where all these films
like,
you can.
But it's about you personally, though. Like this is your personal list. It's not like you're trying to recommend the movies. Like if you're recommending,
I'm not saying, like, these are the top 10
you're gonna
films
say like you know if it's like if you're trying to make a recommendation list, maybe Endgame's not on it because it has 22 movies of baggage. But if it's like your personal, like it just makes it seem like Marvel means nothing to you in your life. So that's why me and Manny are like, what? What?
Again, that's completely fine. Like I love Marvel movies, but if you give me a Overlord, Ready or Not,
Overlord, I liked.
I'm gonna watch the shit out of movies and I'm gonna enjoy them every fucking time. And like for me personally, like someone who has always wanted to make movies, who made short films as a kid from like age like between the ages of like 8 to like 12. Movies like The Evil Dead, Overlord, Ready or Not make me want to finally stop being pussy and actually chase my dream and actually make a movie.
Evil Dead, stuff like that.
Like the Marvel movies, I love them because I read those things as a kid and I'm like, oh, I remember this. That was awesome. It was cool to see it come to life. But I'm more inspired by like again those B movies and stuff that really gets me hyped because again, like I love cinematography, I love camera angles, I love practical effects. Like that stuff draws me in more than anything else. And Endgame, again, if this was like, if I really followed my heart, I think like Ready or Not would be like two, Endgame would be 3, and it like this list would be completely different. But for me, every time I do a top 10 list of any year, it's more of rewatchability, enjoyment, and how like
I would say like the rewatchability part I get you because I can't sit there and watch Endgame like 10 times. You know, like for me, I don't think the theater experience can ever be replicated. Like it'll never be that good again. Even if I sit there and watch it really intently, like in my living room, quietly and pay attention to the whole thing, it's never going to reach what it was in the theater. But I mean, I can't deny what it meant and like how good they stuck the landing and everything. So for me,
I'm not saying like it's a shitty movie. I'm saying it's damn near fucking perfect. But
I know that's just we can't wrap our heads around the list because it's like
Nolan
if
movie,
it was that good, then why isn't it on the list?
Like Nolan movies, I love Christopher Nolan. I love his movies, but I can only watch Interstellar so many times.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
I mean, like I can only watch Night so many times. So like my pure enjoyment, Endgame goes 1. But since this is my top 10 films of 2019, I've seen all these films more times than I've seen the Endgame. For me personally, I will probably end up watching these more than the Endgame.
It's an investment.
Endgame was so special when we saw it in theaters. Like there was like legit, like there were tears in my eyes. Like when he said the Avengers Assemble, when he lived, I cheered, like I stood up and said,
amazing.
Yeah. I was so fucking happy, and like I always remember how I felt watching it in theaters.
Me too.
And you weren't happy enough.
Let's move on.
Let's go. That's number 5.
That came off and everything. He was hot and heated and ready to go.
My number 5 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino, and
Yeah.
talk about rewatchability. This is probably the only movie on my list, maybe with Joker, one of the movies on my list that I watch at least 5 times, and I just had it going on in the background. I don't know why, but like I could just have it going on in the background, and I'll just sit down and watch it. And that's one scene that I'm watching is hilarious.
Yeah.
It probably should make it bigger. I could probably switch it with another movie that I have on the list, and I probably should. But we'll just keep it how it is now.
Right.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably one of my favorite movies of 2019.
Yeah.
And it does have that rewatchability 100%. And it's just fun to watch every single time.
Cool, man. Yeah, I love that movie. Number 5, Avengers Endgame. Not going to retread the ground there, but it meant a lot to me. And the emotion, I usually don't feel a lot of emotion in movies. Like, I will enjoy them, but I won't feel anything too deep. But with this, it just struck so close to my inner child and stuff like that with growing up with this stuff and the way they executed. So, number 5.
See, for me, like, these Marvel movies, man, they do hit a chord for me, like, every single time. Even, like,
they do.
Amazing Spider-Man, they were actually seeing my superheroes that I love on the screen in real life and all that. So,
well,
the
part
man.
that's
like,
awesome about it is that everybody else in the world finally sees why we liked this stuff when we were small. Like, when we liked it, nobody liked it. But now that everybody likes it, we're like, see, I told you. So, like, kind of
idiots. So let's Frank, let's change it up. You say you're number. No wait, yeah. What number are you on? Number 5, right?
4.
You say you're number 4.
Number 4, 1917. I couldn't believe some of the sets. I was really impressed by them. I just couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, how did you create this? Like, and then the whole the one-shot thing was incredible to me. Even though you could, if you really look, you can figure out where the cuts are and where the magic is. But if you let yourself enjoy it, you can't believe that this was real. This is something that happened. Maybe not this particular story, but this setting and this conflict in the world is something that really happened. And then the way they were able to recreate it and tell you a really amazing story with the music and the characters and everything that went into it. So number 4, it was almost higher, but there was so much good stuff that it's at number 4 for me.
My number 4 is Joker. Kind of going off what you guys have said in the past. It was kind of like a original story on a character we already knew. I remember even watching it with Frank. Frank asked me, "This is Gotham City, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's Gotham City." Like, it was one of those movies, like, you could even tell if it was a DC movie, which was pretty cool.
It felt real.
Joaquin Phoenix, probably one of the best Jokers out there. I'm not ready to compare Heath Ledger to him because they're two different Jokers, man. Like, you could compare. I feel like you could compare Jack Nicholson to Heath, but it's not fair to compare those two to a Joaquin Phoenix character or a Joaquin Phoenix Joker, because it also depends what kind of Joker you like. You like the gangster Joker, you like the crazy Joker, or do you like the realistic Joker? So, yeah, and I like too that it kind of still showed you the Batman side of things. Even though everyone complains, oh, we have already seen Batman's parents get killed however many times. Like, I don't get sick of it, really, man. If you could tell me a fresh story on, or fresh retelling of it, I'll eat it up. And
the way they intertwined it with him, what you said in the theater really stuck with me. And like, I didn't even realize it, but you're like, they were born on the same night, and I was like, oh my God damn it!
And that's the beauty of Joker and Batman, is that they were always opposite of each other, and they're always kind of mirroring each other. So it's perfect that they were both born on the same night. And then the one problem I have with it is, like, you got to ask yourself, how old is this Joker to Bruce Wayne? Because this Wayne's like 8 years old. Is it really the Joker, and kind of stuff like that?
You're like, how could they fight in the future if he's 60 and he's 30?
And that's where you can kind of tell. And this is another movie. I really like movies where it has different layers. This movie could have a different layer. Like, maybe he looks old because he's telling the story while he's older. and that's him in his head, how he looks now.
Yeah.
You get me? Like he can't remember when he was younger.
And his origin has always been clouded, so yeah. I could see,
So that's my numero cuatro.
Sonny, number 4.
Number 4, Climax. This is a French film, and I mean, so I guess just give a quick synopsis of it. A dance troupe decides to hold a party after 3 days of practicing, and during the party, someone laces the punch with LSD, and holy shit, does this movie go fucking balls nuts?
Tell me the title again. Is it IMAX or what is
it? This is actually a 2018 movie. I think we have a penalty.
No, it came out 2019.
I'm looking up 2018.
What is it? What is it called?
My 2019 list said it came out 2019.
September 19, 2018, France.
We're in France, motherfucker. We're in the United States.
Well, it's a French movie.
But US release was 2019.
Limited March 2019 in the United States.
It said, it was at the film festival in 2018. So you could, unless you go there, you can't really watch it.
Okay.
Just give it to them.
Climax, I think, has the best soundtrack of 2019. It is a very, it's a very sensory visual film. Again, there's really no story besides they're at a party and they all get drugged and they get bad side effects, and it just takes you on this, like, I guess the way you guys felt about Uncut Gem, I guess, is the way I wanted to feel about it. But this, like, you're on your seat because you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know how they're going to react to it. And again, some are violent, some are not, some are tripping balls. It's such a trip. Like,
so it kind of reminds me of Midsummer, what you're saying right now.
Yeah, like I really can't get into it because, again, like it's something you have to experience. Because again, there's no story. It's a very visual movie with probably the best soundtrack, I think, of 2019. And yes, it's 2019.
Did you watch it in subtitles or did you watch it
subtitles?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the studio's A24 as well.
Yes.
A24. Okay.
Yeah, and they're really known for, like,
producing the indies.
Indie horror, or not indie horror, like art house horror movies. So
yeah.
So this
I'm gonna have to check that out. It's actually on Prime Video. I just looked at it.
Yes, on Prime. I listened to that soundtrack for like 2 weeks straight in my car coming back to work. I've seen it 3 times.
Synth, or what is it?
What's up?
Is it like synth, or what kind of music is it?
It's like synth tech disco mix. It's really, there's like Daft Punk the songs on there. There's a bunch of like top artists that like do songs on it. Yeah. It's great.
I'll check it out.
I mean, you can check it out. I don't think you might like it for certain reasons we're not going to see on air, but check it out if you can get past it and be okay with it. It is very, very visual heavy film, and I imagine if someone was high watching this, they probably lose their shit.
So you can rewatch this more than Endgame?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll have to watch it. I don't know. I mean, it sounds interesting. I would at least try it.
Yeah, I mean, try it. Again, this is a movie I would not recommend to people because I don't know how they're going to take it. Some might be like, in the first 5 minutes, man, this is a piece of art. This is dog shit. And some be like, wow, this is really great.
Yeah.
Did you say your whole list was about recommendation?
No, he said it was based on just film. He said it was based on film, like the craft of it and making him inspired to make movies.
Okay.
Yeah. This again, like this is one of those movies I wouldn't recommend to anyone, just anyone. Like, I would have to know what you're really into, and I'm not sure if you'll like it, but check it out. Like, you might be surprised. So
I might check it out, especially if it's on Prime.
Yeah. So that's my number 4.
I'm watching the Mysterio scene on my TV right now, and it looks beautiful.
Especially when he busts out the zombie Iron Man. It was like, wow, he's really trying to get at this kid, man.
All right, Sonny. Say your number 3.
1917. To go off what Frank was saying, I think while that movie was playing, I spent so much time looking at the background of all the sets, just like looking at all the little details that were in it. And this is like when people talk about a movie being like on the edge of your seat thriller, this is what they're talking about. This it just keeps going and going, and again, like it is awesome and also very sad and terrifying to see that No Man's Land is this pit of just dead bodies and mud and barbed wire, but then right behind it is green, like just fields of green grass. It's just beautiful, and then on this side is just death and tragedy. And again, going back to other things I like, the cinematography was gorgeous in this thing. The camera work, the way that it felt like you were literally like the third man in a group, like right behind them. Now I don't know if we saw it in the IMAX theater with the surround sound and everything, but it sounded wonderful. And
I was going to ask you if you guys saw an IMAX. I think you guys did see it on IMAX.
I think so.
I want to say yes, because it
was
sound
it's not the Navy Pier IMAX, but it's the AMC IMAX, which was still
really. It's not the curved screen, but it's a bigger screen with a really good sound system.
Yeah, no, it was excellent.
Yeah, this was fantastic.
That was number 3 for you.
Number 3, yeah.
Okay, nice.
All right.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Uncut Gems. Just because I wasn't really expecting it to go where it went, and I wasn't expecting it for it to grab me and like really care about the character like I did. So it was fun, man. The music was awesome in that movie. Adam Sandler was good, and I think he just played a good like sleazeball in that movie.
Yeah, he was. I enjoyed his acting.
He should have been nominated at least. I don't think he should have won. I think that should have gone to who it went to, which was Joaquin.
Yeah. But the nod would have been good.
I will say this movie will probably drop down. Like I could easily see it. I should probably replace it with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or maybe even like have that one as number. I don't know, but it was good. Like it held up to where I thought it was going to be, and that's
a lot
why
of the top 5 are interchangeable because it's tough. It was a good year.
I feel bad that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a little bit lower, like number 5, because I watched it so much and it was so easy to watch and I had fun time watching it. The only time I didn't have fun watching it was at Music Box. That was the only time I didn't have fun watching it because that theater just made me sad. But yeah, Uncut Gems is number 3.
All right, man. 3 for me, Joker. You guys pretty much have said everything that's really good about it.
So say something new.
The reason it's not higher, and I almost put it lower, is it's kind of depressing because it's like I can't really.
Yeah, it is.
I can't keep watching it. Like it's just too much. It's really heavy, but it's so good, and his acting is beyond incredible.
Like the little stuff too. Like he writes with his right hand when he's Arthur, but he writes it with his left hand when he turns into Joker. And it happens right on screen too. It's one of the first scenes where you kind of see it. He's in the kitchen, you're kind of far away, and he's writing the joke, and then all of a sudden he kind of like something changes in his head, and he changes the pen to his left hand, and he starts writing the rest of the joke on his left hand.
I never freaking noticed that. I would have never noticed. Like I could have watched that movie 10 times, would have never noticed.
Yeah, and that whole journal is him writing in there, which is awesome.
Yeah,
that was all him. All right. Say your number. Are we at top 2 now?
Yes.
I have a feeling we might have all the same number 1s. Number 2, Frank.
Number 2, Parasite.
Oh nope, we don't have the same.
I really like Parasite more than I thought I would, and it was just really original. I mean, the way that their family was able to con everything. Found it really interesting. I have liked this director in the past, but I never thought he was like a prodigy or like the most amazing thing since sliced bread. But I thought his movies were always good. I'm glad he got recognition. Definitely glad about that. Like I was telling you guys, I was just as happy for this guy as I was for Del Toro when he won for Shape of Water.
Yes.
Because I like to see the underdog win, but not only that, it's definitely deserved. The movie is incredible. It was extremely intense, and I just didn't expect to feel what I felt, and I thought it was really good. But number two, just because there was another one that I enjoyed more, but I'll talk about that one later.
Number two for me was 1917. I think Sonny brought up that he felt it more of a like a thriller kind of movie. I didn't really feel the thrillerness in it until maybe the scene where it's all dark and the church scene when it's on fire. Maybe that's the one scene that I kind of felt. There's too many scenes where it starts up and then goes down to be a thriller. But just the simple fact of it one shot, and that's all I heard from you guys, that's filmed at one shot, that really intrigued me. And yeah, you kind of have to really look at where they cut it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the practical effects were good in there. Even the effects that you thought practical aren't practical. So that's even cool. And that even kind of like Joker, all the blood in that movie is not real blood. It's all CGI, which is pretty cool. And like this one, like in 1917, everything looks so real. Like to the church being burned down, that wasn't really on fire. It was just kind of like a lay, and the CGI was put in there. But the whole other scene, like Violet said, it looked fake. I'm like, well, no, that's kind of how it would look if it was all dark and there was a flash, like a flare going up in the sky. So one of my favorite movies.
Did she like it?
Yeah.
What did she think of it?
I think she liked it. Yeah, it was early on in our quarantine that we watched that movie when it came out, and she watched it, and I think she left, but I stayed with it.
Sure.
But she liked it. She said for the part she saw. That was my number two.
All right, number two. Are we on one?
No, not yet. My number two is Jojo Rabbit.
All right, man.
Yes.
Why did it go all the way up to number two?
Whew. Man, it struck a chord. Like when it was funny, it was hysterical. When it was sad, it was depressing. When it was intense, like the scene where he's talking with his mother about certain things, like that scene was intense. It felt real. It felt like this, like you're around the kitchen table as they're having this talk. Like it to me just hit all the beats, and when it was meant to be a certain thing and feel it, I felt it. And again, I'm not too well versed in, I guess, this subgenre stuff. But it was really cool to see World War II, especially towards the end, through the eyes of kids, and to see how they kind of like dealt with certain things and how they in their mind played out certain things. It was just really interesting to see how like children, even during wartime, they tried to find some kind of coping mechanism or something like that. But even that, like the war affected everybody,
and even the brainwashing thing from the kids' perspective was interesting too.
It was just a damn good movie.
It was good, man.
Absolutely. Like, again, she should have won for, I think, supporting actress 100%. This movie, I felt things that I usually don't feel in films. Like I'll feel happy or pissed off in a movie, but rarely do I ever feel like compassion and do I feel what the actual character's feeling. And this movie it hit all those boxes. The emotion that I had was in this movie. So.
All right, man. Yeah, love that movie.
All right, we're going to number one.
Number one.
Who's up?
We'll go, Manny.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Parasite.
The
hype lived up to it, man. From that one moment in JoJo, we were watching it. I still didn't know what this movie was about. Didn't really want to go into it. was it a horror movie or whatever? I'll just wait.
Right.
I didn't even wait to rent it or anything like that. I bought it. I pre-ordered it, and then the moment that it came up, we watched it. Awesome movie. It definitely made me look subtitled movies in a different way.
Sure.
I watched other movies like El Oil or The Hole on Netflix, and that was supposed to be on subtitle, or if you know Spanish, you can watch it. So it kind of opened my eyes to a different kind of realm of movies. Talking about realms, God of War, you should play it, Sonny. But it was really, really good, especially the ending. That almost kind of, I guess you could say, what?
It's a lot of talk for a man that didn't even bother to finish the game for 2 years. It's a lot of talk.
Hey, man. Like, at least I finished
talking a lot of shit, though. You're talking a lot of shit.
Pick it up. You're watching old MMA movies and not watching Endgame again, and yet you're not playing God of War. But Parasite lived up to its kind of flair, especially the end, kind of like threw me off completely. And I liked the story, how it progressed. Like, I could tell what was going to happen, but still the characters were so good that I kind of invested into them. So that's my number one, Parasite, 2019. Nice.
Sonny, you go.
My number one is Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep, number one. Yes.
Dr. So Sleep, Parasite didn't even make it on your list, huh?
I haven't seen it.
Did you watch it? Oh, okay.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Mr. Movie Guru? You haven't seen the movie that won Best Picture?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm waiting. Maybe no, because the hype was so big on it. I don't want to again, like the hype could live up to it, but I've gone into movies where like this is the best thing of all year, and I watch them like it's good, it's not great.
You're eclectic, man.
Like I really wanted to, because the director of Parasite, I'm a big fan of. Again, for Uncut Gems, like to me, like I heard a lot of people like overhyped and this is a great damn movie, you need to watch this, watch it. And I watched it and I was thoroughly disappointed, and I don't think I'll be disappointed in Parasite, but I'm waiting for the right time because again, it's subtitled, so I have to actually focus on the movie. I have to read everything, and again, like I know it's weird because like over the past 3-4 years, I've gone very accustomed of multitasking while playing a game, watching a TV show, or catching movies, or listen to podcasts and music, doing a lot of multitasking. But I want to sit down. I want to watch it. I want to enjoy it. And again, I have to read all the subtitles because again, this isn't like a martial arts movie where you can just watch the action and don't really care about the story. I have to pay attention. So that again, I guess that's my excuse for not watching it. It's on Hulu now, so it's easier for me to watch. Yeah, so it's easier to watch it now. So I am going to watch it soon, but.
I mean, you had God of War next to your PlayStation 4, and you still haven't played it, so there's no hope for that. So
actually, it's not next to it; it's like stashed away. So
it's stashed away.
All right. Well, you tell us what was your number one? When you do those, let us know.
My number one is Dr. Sleep again, just because we went on a weird tangent there. Dr. Sleep is my number one movie of 2019.
I'm very surprised.
Super.
I love the shit out of this fucking movie.
It was great, man. I liked it a lot.
I loved it so.
Is this your fanboy talking?
No, like I read the book. I thought the book was good. It wasn't great. I was excited when it came out, and yeah, like because again, like you can really see the love that the guy had for the source material and the time and the effort he made to actually make a really good film instead of just something that was a quick turnaround of like, it's kind of shit, but I didn't really care about it. It was a paycheck. From beginning to end, like I was hooked on the movie.
It was great.
Like I sat there and I won't say I was in awe, but I sat there with certain scenes and certain things in the movie that made me go like, wow, that is fucking awesome to watch. And like I guess like it's not a dream sequence, but there's something that goes on with the character that takes them somewhere else, and that was to me was like awe inspiring. I was like, wow,
it was really cool.
I want to do that. Like it's like I don't know how, but I want to do that. Like I want to learn how. I want to know what they did, to do this and that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And again the story is really good. I mean, I honestly I could probably sit here and talk about this movie for like hours and hours of little details and characters and all this kind of stuff. But in a nutshell, it had my attention from as soon as it opened to as soon as it ended. Love the characters. I love the the setup, the pacing. This whole movie to me was very good, and I won't say it had like a soundtrack, but the music and the ambiance in the background really helped the movie like reach a whole new level.
I think so. It was good. I wanted to fit it in 10, but it didn't make it.
That's fair.
All right, number 1 for me, Once Upon a Time.
Really?
I wasn't.
Parasite didn't even make your list, huh? Or did it?
Yeah, it was number 2.
Oh, okay.
Once Upon a Time, I wasn't looking forward to because I was really into what Tarantino was doing with Hateful Eight and Django. So I wanted more of that. And when I heard the synopsis for the new movie, I wasn't excited. I am a fan of his, of course, but I just wasn't excited for the movie. But when I finally saw it, I really enjoyed it. And for me, it was just the most fun thing. And it's kind of like it dives into his mindset of as far as like his knowledge is so deep about all this stuff and like old Hollywood and all that stuff. It's kind of incredible what they pulled off with the sets. And I looked at some of the extra features where they were showing how they built these sets, and they closed down the businesses and they try to recreate them how they were before. So they would take the real shops, but they would put new paint on them, basically, like put the old signs up and stuff like that. So I appreciated all of that, and it was probably the most rewatchable movie for me of the year. Kind of like Manny, you watched it probably more than me, but I still just had a lot of fun watching it over and over. The Leo and Brad, those two guys they were like undeniable together. Like they were just really fun. I bought them 100%. Like I bought their friendship and their relationship. So I just enjoyed the movie a lot. Number 1.
That movie really wasn't the movie that I thought it was going to be when it first came out. And when they announced it, I thought it was going to be a lot more with the Manson killer killers, but it wasn't. But it still was good. That was the surprising part of it. That didn't make your list, though, right, Sonny? Once Upon a Time, or did?
No, it didn't.
Man. Why?
I don't know. I think that I don't know.
If there was better than this.
If there was a top 20, would it be on the list?
It would be 11. Probably. It would be 11. Maybe even 10 if I was to like really just like sit down and make a hard choice. But yeah, again, like I enjoyed it. It was weird. Like I've seen some clips or some videos on YouTube talking about the idea and the purpose of this movie, stuff like that, and it gives me a different the appreciation for it.
Yeah,
but I still feel like this was a weird number 9 for him to make, because I do feel like he will stick with his word and only make 10 films, or like 10 main story films, because Kill Bill 1 and 2 are one movie. They're just split in half. Yeah, again, like I really enjoyed it. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was great in it, especially where they're on set to film that TV series. Like that whole thing was fantastic. No, again, like I really enjoyed it, but I'm still conflicted on like why out of everything did you make this? And again, I understand why, because he loves.
I can see why.
He loves the way stuntmen were like treated back then, like they were rock stars. Like they show up on set, like, I need you to jump off of this building. Well, you give me this much, or I'm walking. No, hold on, wait. Okay, sure, no problem. like they were badasses, because no one wanted to jump out of a building, jump out of a moving car. Nowadays, it's a lot safer. Again, like it's not perfect. Like
there's still a lot of accidents, man. I've heard a lot more accidents lately.
But back in the day, it was just I'm gonna take some pills and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much padding. There was just like, I'll fall off of that. You'll pay me? Fuck it. Okay.
Well, if you watch that recent Netflix series where they're talking about old movies and how they were made, they were talking about Home Alone and how the stunt actors were really like slamming their backs on cement and stuff like that. And that's why those scenes worked, because you could feel the impact, man. Like I was like, at the time you don't think about it, but that stuff was really happened. So it's
I remember. I forgot what documentary I was watching back in the day with the old westerns. When they would fall off of horses, like going to 20 miles an hour, they would literally hit the ground, like going 20 miles an hour. Like there was no padding underneath the dirt or anything. They learned how to fall, but they were still falling. So it was like so that's why compared to what we are where we are today and how it was back then, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, do we want to do worst movies real quick? Just like rapid fire. Don't really talk about them, but just say what do you hate?
I think real quick. Let's just say our list 10 to 1. Sonny, you go first. Again?
Yeah. From 10 to 1, Hustlers number 10. Ready or Not is number 9. Number 8 is Alita: Battle Angel. Number 7 is The Highwaymen. Number 6 is Booksmart. Number 5 is Joker. Number 4 is Climax. Number 3 is 1917. Number 2 is Jojo Rabbit. And my favorite movie of 2019 was Dr. Sleep.
My list, number 10, Ready or Not. Number 9, The Irishman. Number 8, Spider-Man: Far From Home, which it should be a little bit higher because I'm watching it right now and I'm still loving it. Number 7, Us. Number 6, Avengers: Endgame. Number 5, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Number 4, Joker. Number 3, Uncut Gems. Number 2, 1917. And number 1, Parasite for me for 2019.
All right, mine is number 10, Alita: Battle Angel. Number 9, Uncut Gems. Number 8, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Number 7, John Wick 3. Number 6, Jojo Rabbit. Number 5, Avengers: Endgame. Number 4, 1917. Number 3, Joker. Number 2, Parasite. And number 1, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Nice. And then, who wants to go with stinkers first, real quick?
I'll get mine out of the way. The worst 3 things for me were Dark Phoenix, Men in Black, Rambo.
Oh, wow. Okay. That all makes sense.
Did not enjoy them. I love the other stuff in the series, but this was just like shitting on all of that. So I did not enjoy those 3.
I hear you.
My stinkers was number 3, Triple Frontier. Horrible at the end, just threw me off. Number 2, Dark Phoenix. And number 1, Glass.
Oh yeah, Glass was a stinker, man.
Yeah, Glass was a stinker.
Killed the hype on Split.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What was that other one that you had on there? The
Triple Frontier.
That
was a Netflix movie.
I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was bad at the end when a certain character. Yeah, it was bad.
Oh yeah, the way. Yeah. Okay, Sonny.
Yeah.
3 worst.
My 3 worst is Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It wasn't too bad. I wouldn't call it a stinker.
It was no good.
I mean, I didn't want like Frank's list. I saw parts of it and I heard other things. When I hear a bad movie, I tend to avoid it. But Hobbs and Shaw, for me, it was a letdown, I guess.
Yeah.
It was, I was expecting something different, and it was decent to watch, but yeah, I wasn't into it. Number 2 is Zombieland 2, and
I liked
what was the last one? Oh, it was The Kid. Is my last one for 2019.
What is The Kid anyway?
You know, so I watched it because you said it was the best Western in the past 5
that
years.
one? I didn't even say that. I don't remember saying that.
You did say that.
Well, even if I did, it's still not like the worst movie.
I'd have slapped you red, boy. I'll tell you.
Give me something that you thought was an honorable mention. Give me one.
What do I have on my list?
The Kid wasn't that bad. I kind of liked it.
See, honorable mention for what?
I mean, like the whole year. Like what didn't make top 10, but you wanted to put on the list? Just one.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And Manny?
Man, I don't know.
For me, it was Ready or Not. I wanted to fit it on the list, but I there was too much good stuff for me.
Sure.
I feel like I had a movie that I said that was honorable, and I didn't say it. I'm looking at them right now. I don't have one.
Fair enough.
I feel like I should have one though, but I don't have one. I feel like I'm unprepared.
No, we didn't really ask about that before. It was just kind of a last minute thing that I threw in there.
I'm trying to look through them real quick and see. Even though we're kind of
did you like Dr. Sleep? I thought you enjoyed it, so I thought maybe it would make
but it's not. I don't think it's anywhere near my top 10. I don't think it's anywhere near it. I mean, it's just one of those movies that you get a sequel for an old movie, and it did its job. Like, I appreciate it, but
yeah,
it's not going to be honorable mention. And I guess I don't have one.
Well, let us know in the next show. We got another episode coming out next week. Maybe we follow up with you.
Yeah.
So that is our top 10 list of 2019. 2020 is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I was going to think about
see how that turns out.
We're not going to have any movies to watch.
I know. Shit.
Everything's theater at home. I don't know what we're going to watch.
I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how this year shapes up. With these trying times currently, but I had a fun time talking about our list. You guys might have been heated points at me, which is not fair, but it was fun.
No, it was like more like just surprised because we thought you liked a certain movie, and then we're like, oh, it didn't make the list. Come on, I got to make the list. But I think if you think you built your list on a certain thing, then it makes more sense.
Again, this is my this is my personal top 10 list. It's not like I don't know. I guess what deserves to be on there. Because I mean, if it was like what deserves to be on there, my number 8, 9, and 10 would not be on there.
I just went pure enjoyment. Like I didn't think about like the craft. Like for me, like if you look at Avengers Endgame as number 5, I know it's not it's not like the cream of the crop as far as the craft of filmmaking, but I just enjoyed it so much that it made it that high.
Is there anything we want to add? Anything on this episode? Anything, or do we have an idea?
I was looking at some of the analytics right now, and I know we're like series 3, and people are probably like these assholes again. Like, but anyway, I saw that we got I think 6 downloads on the episode 1, and we got 30 views on the YouTube. So maybe people are liking the video aspect of it, that you could watch it. I know I've been doing that for certain channels, like certain podcasts that publish their video onto YouTube. I kind of watch that in the background. So maybe people are liking that. But that is pretty much expected, especially as a first. This is basically, you could think of it as episode 1 all over again, because we kept starting it over. So I know it will grow as time goes on, and I've seen a lot of good growth on our Facebook page. So if you want to interact with us, we put some questions on there sometimes, and you could always let us know what you think of the show and stuff like that on the Facebook page.
Yes. Any ideas for what we're gonna do next week, or are we gonna take care of that off air?
Probably off air. I don't think I got the show in my head right now.
Okay, that's cool.
But so it's always going to be fun, nerd out stuff that we talk about.
That's episode 2. So it was a good show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We definitely have fun doing this with our new format and layout to it. So we're hoping to hear you guys. I hope you guys come back for episode 3. And like Frank said, any feedback is good feedback. So thanks again, guys, and hope you guys have a good one.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. That's our show. Later.
3 nerds out.